lovers, the moon is a thing of beauty. But to this man it is a deadly curse. When the moon is full, this miserable wretch turns into a hairy, snarling half-man, half-beast. Prowls the night, his fangs thirsty for human blood. He is a werewolf.
Hello, and welcome to the Werewolf by Night podcast, the show where we talk about Marvel's #1 lycanthrope, Jack Russell, a.k.a. the Werewolf, a.k.a. the Beast, a.k.a. the Shaggy One. I'm your co-host, Matt Howell.
I'm your other host, Jacob Balcom.
Thanks for joining us this week, listeners. The issue for this week, Werewolf by Night, issue number 28, which has a poll date of April 1975. This is part 2 of a 3-part story. This is 3 parts, right? I should have actually done I don't want to spoil stuff, so I try not to look ahead too far.
I mean, isn't it kind of 4 parts? Because I think
it 4? Can I tell you something? I'm at the end of volume 2 of my library edition here, so I don't know. All I know is after this issue, I'm going to put volume 2 on the shelf, pull volume 3 out, and that's going to be the end of volumes. So I know that it happens next issue. I couldn't remember if it was 3 or 4.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't read past next issue, which I actually have a physical copy of, so I'm pretty excited to
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of those that I bought really, really cheap, I think either in the Excalibur bins or from my comic shop.
Okay.
And made it for buttons. I got it for a material to make our buttons.
Can I assume that if there are letters that you will take over the Weremail by Night that week?
Oh, that's a crazy thought.
Come on.
I will do it.
I won't even read the letters page. I'm going to gloss over it. Not even gloss. Skip past it.
Oh, my God.
So you can let me choose which letter I want to hear.
I mean, I feel like I'm ready for this.
You're ready.
I feel like I've trained for this and I'm ready. And we'll have a guest next episode, our friend Tim Tucker.
Right.
From the UK, werewolf author and comic fan and Simpsons podcast host.
Yeah.
So he'll be there to kind of, help soften the blow if my delivery of the mail makes you so angry.
Well, I feel like you already interviewed him on the show also. So not that either of us takes a front seat at any time normally, but I think I'm going to kind of recede a little bit because you have a relationship with Tim. You're doing the letters thing. I'm just going to kind of Ed McMahon.
Okay. Well, I'll prepare twice as hard so I don't disappoint you.
I'm more of a Hank Kingsley, to be honest. Yeah. But yeah, I
wish you were Hank Kingsley.
I do. I just rewatched that episode the other day. I think it's called Hank's Night in the Sun, the one when Larry gets food poisoning and they can't get any guest host to come on, so Hank has to do it. One of the best episodes of any TV show ever made, in my opinion, but one of the best of that series. Amazing stuff. Okay, so Werewolf by Night. Last week we had Rick Shearing on with us, and we met this divisive villain that was introduced, Dr. Glitternight. He is associated with Topaz, and he came in and caused a bunch of shit, and he's back. So this cover is actually pretty striking, in my opinion. I actually like this cover. This is by Gil Kane and I think Jansen.
I think that's Frank Giacoya on this one.
Oh, is it? Jeez, man, I can't do anything right. By the way, if you are looking to host a podcast, send us a letter at Gmail because I think I need to step down. Personal stuff.
You've done a hell of a job up till now, and I'm really proud of the work that you've done. But it might be time to move on to another project.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Dickie Crickets. Thank you.
Is it so funny? I watched that episode last night.
I've watched. Okay, so we're going to not do too many Mr. Show references because that gets too deep. All right, so this cover I actually like quite a bit. It's pretty striking. I like the layout of this a lot. So what we have here is a stone kind of almost looks like ruins, like an Aztec temple or something like that. And Dr. Glitternight is standing at the top in the distance, and he's shooting one of his chest beams down at the werewolf in the foreground. And there's this nice visual kind of wrap leading your eye from him down to the beast of these weird, they look like shrimp meat bats that are like going in a long line and attacking the werewolf at the same time. And if you're worried that the werewolf is lonely, there is a blonde crumpled at the foot of these steps.
Yeah.
Per some type of regulation of the 70s, I guess. I'm not sure.
Wait,
Wooderson regulations.
Can I ask you to clarify what we're going to call the flying creatures in this issue? What did you just call them?
Well, they on the cover, they look like they have exoskeletons of prawns, but they're bats. So like shrimp bats.
Shrimp bats. Okay. Yeah, I kind of called them bee bats on the inner pages, but shrimp bat. Oh man. Yeah, you just made my night with that.
So here's my thing. So okay, the box says the diabolical Dr. Glitternight. So they're really all in with this guy. And then it says, has the werewolf met his match at last? And the werewolf is kind of like shrinking away from the ray that's hitting him and the shrimp bats that are all circling around him. So he has a whole mess of trouble right now. I actually like this cover because we weren't overwhelmed with any kind of impact that Dr. Glitternight had last issue. He seemed like he was he hovered like a kite or like a flying squirrel and shot beams out and bothered little girls. Yes.
yeah. No, I absolutely agree, and I like this cover too.
On this one, he actually looks menacing because first of all, he's physically above the werewolf at the top of a flight of stairs and shooting beams down and sending the shrimp bats down. So he actually looks like he's formidable. No,
he looks like a proper villain for once and not a flying squirrel kite.
Yeah. We need to work on his look. He's got a weird like Jersey Shore sweatpant look to his cloak here. Like he's getting cannoli for Tony Soprano. But that's a Gil Kane thing, I guess. I don't know.
It's a Gil Kane thing. Can I tell you that I really wish there were Ramita alterations on the face
of the beast, or
of the beast?
It's interesting. I did not. I looked at it and tried to see if something bothered me, and I was like, no, it's fine. But now that you're saying it, in the moment, I'm kind of like, yeah, he looks more. What is wrong with his face?
I don't know, but I'm glad that I can ruin your perception of things.
Okay. And yeah, Dr. Glitternight, he doesn't have his normal, he's not as detailed as much. So he's just kind of looks more vague, which is probably making him more effective.
Yeah, no, this is an effective cover. It's a really good cover.
Let's dive in. I squealed with delight, by the way, when I turned the cover here. Looking at the credits. Because I saw a certain colorist that I really fucking like.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I was very excited about that as well. So the credits for this issue are Doug Munch, writer, Don Perlin, artist, John Costanza, letterer, and Petra Goldberg, colorist, who we love, who is the best colorist for the entire series.
Bar none.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also, we have Len Wein as editor. This is the second issue of Werewolf by Night he's edited. And I was going to say I was really excited to see his stamp on the letters page.
Well, can't do that.
Can't do it. I know. Right as I said that, I'm like, oh, wait, there are no letters. Go figure. So anyhow, this...
he's already overwhelmed by pseudo werewolves. Second month.
Oh. So yeah, it's basically a full page illustration of the beast running away from the cave, like we saw at the end of last issue that Matt, you and I laugh at so much when he just. I think we, like you were saying last week, we should just call it. This is just keep on trucking. Just keep on trucking out of there. You know, I was a little wary when I saw the detail of the beast. The inks look rough. And the inks look rough in a lot of places in this issue, like not as on point to me, and so that worried me a little bit right off the bat. And the title is "The Darkness from Glitternight."
So I didn't take issue with these inks as much on like on his fur. I kind of liked them. Like it didn't seem like the way Perlin normally inks himself so far. but it felt kind of like more that Sutton-y kind of gritty, sketchy kind of, I don't know.
See, to me,
I liked it.
To me, it's okay, but to me, it almost reached that Sutton level, but kind of was. I don't know. I think you're right. It does look pretty cool, but I think compared to other points in this issue, it seems a little more roughly inked than Perlin normally does on himself.
Okay.
And I actually think, I mean, maybe I got spoiled by those Sal Trapani inks on the giant size, because those were fucking gorgeous.
Those were amazing.
And Perlin is doing, he's doing a lot of shit. So if he had to be a little rushed in places in this issue, I totally understand.
So yeah, I like that just picked up right where the last issue left off. Like literally just like cutting a camera angle, because we left off looking over Buck and Topaz's shoulders as the beast runs off down the beach. And now we're watching him run off down the beach. And on the next page, there's a top row I love of him like sprinting through the surf as the sun starts to come up. So he kind of wanes and then collapses, and then the camera pans down to him being Jack, unconscious. Kind of a cool transformation.
Yeah, I loved it, and I loved the perspective of it, because he's running towards us. He's running towards the reader as he's transforming and falls, and it's so cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed that as well.
And I thought that Perlin, his handling of Jack there, that portrayal of him in the last panel, was actually really nice. Like he's a handsome boy modeling school. Yeah. So he's found by Buck and Topaz, and we get this kind of weird thing where it's just saying like they would take me back with them to the self-same pad, Buck's pad, where I would awaken before dark, and where the third night would be filled with a lot of howls, but little else. So he just basically says, they somehow locked me down, kept me safe, and I just shrieked and howled at the moon for a whole night. And then the next panel, he's just kind of lazing around Buck's house. Topaz and Buck are walking around together, just enjoying the beach. And it says, then the first of 4 weeks without the werewolf passed. Nobody said much, and everyone cared less, which I thought was really weird. He's saying that the first week went by without incident, but it's weird to say nobody talked and nobody cared.
No, it's really weird. Like, that is definitely not what would happen.
and then at the end of the second week, the break of the weird, just ho-hummy, glummy emo shit, Lissa shows up. And she says, I don't know if you checked your calendar, brother, but I'm turning 18 and, I might be fucked. So Buck comes out to the balcony. He's like, hey, Lissa, you're just in time for popcorn. What do you say? And he's trying to keep it light and fun and Bucky. And it says, it wasn't that Sis was rude and wouldn't answer Buck. She simply couldn't answer, at least not until her throat unthickened, which is not the most elegant way of saying that. But I thought that was an effective way of conveying, like, there's a really nice scene between brother and sister of like, the curse is happening. Like, my birthday doesn't fall on a full moon, but my birthday's tomorrow, so the next full moon, I might be fucked. And she's dreading her future life. And that was a good way to convey that.
No, it really is. Yeah, I think those last those bottom two panels are really effective.
Yeah.
And then, so okay,
I forgot one thing. I'm sorry. Hold on real quick. There's one other thing where a munchism I liked. As they're talking, he says, she knew I knew, and she also knew that I'd have gone home to her the next day, even though she wouldn't face real danger until the full moon burst ugly through the night clouds.
Yeah.
Another little munchism. He's got this little nuance.
Yeah, he does.
Burst ugly.
Burst ugly.
Broke surface.
Broke surface mean.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, on the next page, I thought it was weird that it oddly like begins with a recap box that would normally be found on like the first page. But this is the third page. And it just kind of goes on. It starts out, a background note. My father was a warlock who'd passed a curse through his long. Okay, I guess they might be doing this because they're setting up for Lissa. Like if this was someone's first issue, this would be that Jim Shooter box, right?
Yeah,
that's
totally
just
get
like,
it.
Oh, we just established Lissa coming, but you don't know that she's going to turn into a werewolf. Fine, okay, I get it.
Yeah,
but more importantly, what the hell is Jack wearing?
So I did not notice this at first. I just kind of scooted over it until stuff happens later. And then I thought his shirt was shredded. And I thought he was wearing a white undershirt with a dickie.
Yeah.
But then on second read, it's like, oh my God, no, the shirt.
No, that's
the
his
shirt
outfit.
was. So it's a white short sleeve shirt with a turtleneck, brown turtleneck with like corduroy, essentially, or whatever, like ribs. And a plunging V of the brown. So it's a brown turtleneck with a plunging brown V on the shirt. It's a Dickie shirt.
It's a Dickie shirt, and I'm pretty sure that's terry cloth. I just imagine that all of them, the Buck and Jack, all their clothes are terry cloth, like they're Elliot Gould getting out of a spa.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a strange choice. And then all equally strange on the next panel, like the gang are roasting marshmallows, which somehow was like really sweet and really funny to me at the same time. So they're all like, you know, because of course this is Buck's Malibu beach pad. So of course he has an enormous fireplace
right
in the middle.
Prior to that, I mean, you know, Jack's approaching Buck on the side and saying, you know, let Lissa's birthday pass. Don't make a big deal. You know, it's obviously a sensitive subject. And that second panel, Buck looks very Jack Kirby.
Yeah, doesn't
like
he?
Challengers of the Unknown or something. Like
that's perfect.
Kooky.
It totally looks like one of the Challengers of the Unknown. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's this weird kind of heavy weight over, like, you know, roasting marshmallows in your giant fireplace because no one's having a good time because everyone's not talking about what's on their mind, which is Lissa's curse.
Yeah, so it is a very solemn. It's a solemn scene, and yeah, you're right. They're probably trying to be a little light by roasting some marshmallows. And so they're all like somber looking at the fire. And then Lissa turns and she's like, will it happen, Jack? Will I change? And so she just snaps. And Jack is like, I don't know, sis. We're just going to have to wait. And Topaz tries to comfort her, saying, look, Lissa, it's true that my Esper powers can no longer control the beast and Jack, but I might be able to help you. And I like that she explains, she's like, you haven't changed yet. The process of lycanthropy isn't as deeply ingrained in you. If nothing else, I should. And her great point is interrupted by this whoosh of the fire. Like came out, it says that their marshmallows were fried to an abrupt crisp as this sound effect woof comes out of the fire.
Something we didn't note on the last page is that Lissa's hair has gone back to the right color. Thank you, Petra.
Yeah, it's because Petra took charge of that.
So this next page I really dug. It is all action, all bananas. So spilling out of Buck's fireplace are these shrimp bats going like shree, 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 shree. And Jack, everyone falls back shrieking like, what the? Ah! And they're just filling the entire place like a cloud, shrieking in swarms. Topaz is screaming, help me, Jack, help me. They're biting flesh. They're trying to suck blood. Buck, being a smarty pants, grabs a curtain off of the rod and starts, grabs the drape off. Jack reaches in the fire and pulls out like a piece of wood that's burning. And they just go to town on these things, just smacking them. Buck's like just balled up some of the curtains and just smashing them. And Jack's smashing them with burning firewood. It's pretty good.
Oh, it's great. It's a really cool page. The action panels are really great. And these shrimp bats are, you should mention they have giant mouths with like really sharp, like razor sharp teeth in them.
Yeah.
And so they're pretty terrifying.
Like barracuda prawn bats.
Yes. even better description. But we realize
I love that one in the foreground on the bottom panel, just to kind of give you a little sense of like they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Yeah, that is. Yeah, you're right. That's a really good little trick. But I love on the next page, we make the discovery that the bee bats, the shrimp bats, they explode if you light them on fire. So if you touch them with fire, they basically like pop and explode. And so, yeah, the narration reads, oh, yeah, this first narration, God, it says one problem. The pitcher was Satan, and he had 1,000 arms, all hurling curves.
Damn right.
Yeah. And so after Buck and Jack explode a bunch of these things, they retreat out the window. And yeah, the narration says, and maybe that's why they left in droves as suddenly as they come. That says the aftermath was like twin sets of Rod Taylor and Tippi Hedren in Hitchcock's The Birds, spelled relief. And God, okay, little clunky, but Lissa is freaking the fuck out, as you would think that she would. She's like, "What were they, Jack? Why did they attack us like that?" And he's like, I don't know, Lissa, but I'm sure his Blaze is going to find out. And yeah, he's in his tattered terry cloth shirt with just the dicky part now, holding on. So go on.
Sorry, please. I apologize.
Oh no, I was going to say, and so he starts taking off, and then they realize all of them come out to join Jack, and he's like, it's him again. They're all looking up at the sky at what you think is coming.
Yeah. So I just felt weird up to this point because the panel where it shows just saying like a couple weeks passed, nobody was really talking. We're all kind of just glum. Buck and Topaz are walking around together and Jack's by himself moping under the deck.
Yeah.
Like a child who's digging himself in a hole. And then when they have this Tippi Hedren, Rod Taylor moment, Jack goes to his sister, which I guess makes sense, but Buck goes to Topaz. I felt like there was some kind of weird thing going on I wasn't picking up on. Like, are they?
No, I mean, I noticed that too, but then I'm like, no, of course Jack is going to comfort his sister. So I get that, but no, come on, Buck's true blue. He wouldn't go with his best guy's gal.
So on the next page, they're looking up, and sure enough, it is Dr. Glitternight floating like a cloud up above with his shrimp bats all around him, spraying out red light. And he says, listen to me, little Topaz. You have felt the first sting of my pets. I have been merciful in calling them off, but I warn you, little Topaz, if you do not tell me where to find Taboo, I shall not be so lenient a second time. While his shrimp bats are going ree, 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 all around him. There's this great panel of these profiles of all of the heroes looking up in the sky, Topaz, Lissa, Jack, and Buck. And Topaz says, but Taboo's dead. I've already told you. And he does not believe her. And he thinks that she's sheltering him and that he's going to give them 2 weeks to decide, to prepare for this battle with Taboo. And he flies off and says, make a decision. So, Topaz just says he's mad, and Jack says, as they're all watching him fly away, just kind of numbed.
But it's also a really funny a plot device where he's like, I will not attack you now. I will attack you in 2 weeks when the moon is full. Nothing goes on that night, right?
My calendar's clear.
Oh, and I thought that panel where they're all in profile looking up, it reminded me of that scene in Twin Peaks with Coop and
go to the cabin.
Yeah, when they're all outside of the cabin,
of course
and they all kind of line up like that. Of course it did.
The dock and everybody.
Yeah, so awesome.
So gauntlet thrown, right?
Yeah, the 2 week gauntlet is thrown. And then, so they go inside, and I really like Buck's response to this, actually. He's like, I don't buy that cock and bull about needing 2 weeks to get ready. It's pure bluff. Or he would have made good on his threat right now. I kind of like it when Buck calls bullshit. When he actually is just like, no, I'm the elder here. Let me tell you, kids, we're getting conned.
Even with the shredded shirt.
Yeah. Jack's like, yeah, I see what you mean, Buck. If he killed Topaz now, he'd never learn what he wants to know. He's just using the 2 weeks to wear us down. I'm like, well, yeah, I guess so. But, Topaz is also like, well, it doesn't matter because he wants to know, he'll never learn what he wants to know because Taboo is dead. Like, you saw this, Jack. You saw him die. And he's like, yeah. And then he kind of, the rest of the page is a flashback to issue 14, where Taboo, his reanimated son Algon, gets the Midas touch, turns all the shit to gold. Giant Buddha falls on Taboo and crushes him. And then after that, the beast pushes Algon into the fire, and he burns up. So yeah, the last time we saw both of these characters, they were dead, and Taboo was definitely dead.
Yeah. But the second panel here, again, Perlin is channeling Plug when he draws Topaz. He somehow picked up on the cheekbone thing. Figured out that's You're a Plugism.
Right. It is. Once you pointed that out, now that's all I can see when I look at Plug stuff. I'm like, oh, of course. Fucking Topaz with cheekbones. That is Plug.
So they continue, and they're just kind of sitting around in their shredded clothes, talking about, like, we have 2 weeks to wait now. This page is kind of weird to me. Lissa says, can we call the police? And there's this weird third panel where Jack looks like he's angrily yelling at his sister in a shredded Dickie shirt, like in the firelight, going, get serious, will you, Lissa? If you were the police, what would you think if somebody told you about a dude like Glitternight? Or even that your brother was a werewolf? But he looks like it's like a Mad Magazine, like, illustration is so weird. It is. She kind of breaks down and says, I'm sorry, Jack, I'm just not thinking straight. He's like, no, I'm not the one thinking straight, okay? I should be apologizing. So this little heart-to-heart kind of moment. And time kind of passes, and then we go to a morning in the future, and Buck is making pancakes for everybody. And he's got a super sweet chef's hat that says Buck's Joint, and a super sweet apron that I want to have made for both of us that says, eat here, die outside. Don't eat the whole thing. Erp. So
we need those matching aprons. The world needs to see us in those matching aprons. And we kind of need the chef's hat too. I mean, a little bit. Like, you can't do half the ensemble here. Oh, this is my favorite. This made up for any of this issue's faults. Buck and his chef outfit made up for everything.
It's pretty random. So he's bringing a big thing of pancakes over to Jack and Lissa, and he says, the brazen audacity of that Topaz. How dare she sleep late when the seductive aroma of Flapjack's Buck Deluxe wafting through the air. And says, but a comedian, he wasn't.
What are the special ingredients in his Flapjack's Buck Deluxe?
Good Lord.
I'm going to do the same thing. So yeah, on the next page, Topaz enters the room, kind of looking tired and pretty scared. She doesn't normally look like that. Her face, the way that Perlin draws her face on this page is really effective, because you're like, oh shit, like Topaz is rattled,
drawn and haggard.
Yeah, she looks really rattled, and she explains that she had this dream of the four of them on a boat heading out to a creepy castle, which obviously is the ancestral Russoff Manor that's off the coast of Monterey. And she's talking to Jack. She's saying that she saw Taboo alive inside this castle, and that this was a dream of precognition that she has had before. But then Buck in his goofy outfit is also like, I don't know, he's kind of a dick move. He's like, oh, you're just distraught. It's just your nerves. Which Buck is normally a little more sensitive to his interactions with the ladies than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jack is like, maybe so, Buck, but that castle gives me an idea. And if we follow up on it, then maybe Topaz did dream of the future, at least partially.
So this is talking about what I was talking about a couple episodes ago, where it's like, this seems like a major whiff here as a writer to not realize that his ancestral home is sitting empty on an island 2 hours away from where every story happens.
Yeah. That hasn't been used in a long time.
Yes. So they have realized that. And Jack's saying, now that Blackgar is dead, there's nobody out there. There's an entire island with a castle. And this is a great place for you, Lissa, to be in case the curse strikes. You can run around and be free.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, you mean where I won't be able to hurt someone else? I was like, have it your way, sis, but I still think that the island is our best bet. And of course, Buck knows everybody's got every number memorized. He's like, let me call the Marina and reserve a boat.
You're right. He just picks up the phone. Like, of course he knows the Marina's number.
And he has a really super stylized, cool profile in that panel, which I want to name the artist it reminds me of, but I can't think of who it is. But they jump into a little wooden motorboat, and they note that there's a weird-looking seagull tracking them as they go out to Blackgar Island. And, Buck says, well, a lot of things are getting weird these days, including our nerves when they start turning everything we see into bogeymen. Buck's happy face was allergic to the salt air. It hid. So Buck is being uncharacteristically naive, or he's just not. This is not the Buck we normally know. Like,
Buck is all over the place this issue.
He's a zoo.
He is.
Like, if this were happening during Secret Invasion, I would say Buck is a Skrull now.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, Buck's weirdness is making me uneasy. So, yeah, but on the next page, they arrive at the dock by the castle. And I kind of love, especially in that, that second panel, it's so, the old dark house with ominous clouds forming, like the ancestral castle looks really kick-ass.
Yeah.
And they totally look like, I mean, this is a Scooby-Doo moment. Absolutely.
And this doesn't look like the castle did at all in Marvel Spotlight or Werewolf Night #1, which is fine.
It's not. Yeah, it's totally fine. I don't need that kind of continuity.
It's way more Ditko, just interdimensional abode. Like, it just looks like it's like Spain meets Mars. Yeah, Dormammu's. Yeah, totally beach house.
I want to stay there. So yeah, they go inside. Taboo's like, this is just the way it happened in my dream, with Buck putting wood on and Buck's trying to start a fire. And then we hear this voice come from up above them. They all turn around. It says, "You've come, Topaz." It says, "We spun to the voice, nearly shaken from our skins." And Topaz is like, "You, then it." And the narration says, "Yep, it was true. And it was Taboo, alive, if not kicking." So Taboo is on the floor above them, looking over, saying, "You are shocked to see me, but regardless of what you see, I am not Taboo. I am the mere essence of Taboo, the reincarnation of his immortal soul." And Topaz is all of us in this moment, like, what do you mean?
Yeah. So we've gone into a complete weird world of tulpas, doubles, spiritual, astral forms, everything else. So nothing is what it seems to be anymore, which is a little disorienting. He replied in a voice like gravel, spattering slate, "I am a child of Glitternight." And so Topaz says, "Oh, I'm beginning to understand. Go on." And there's this cool panel of jagged lightning striking behind him above in the window. And he says, "You've seen me die, therefore I am dead." And he explains that when he did die, when that golden idol fell on him and crushed him, Glitternight came and dragged his body, bathed him in that weird zipatone black light, and extracted his essence through his mouth like he did to Topaz, put it inside of another egg. He must get these bulk, like from Wayfair.
So much egg.
And then it says, which through the hideous power of his Stygian light, he turned it opaque. So he put Taboo's soul in an egg, bathed it in his dark, evil light, and then the egg turned black.
Yeah, and it said, and the last words on the page are "and evil."
And evil.
Yeah, you're right. I really liked that his absence of light, his dark ray, looks a lot more zipatone there than it did in previous issues. I wish they would have used that effect the whole time. It looks really, really cool.
They used it once last issue. Did they not do that in the digital?
It didn't look very zipatone in the digital.
It was only in one panel.
Oh, yeah, actually, I think I know which one you did. I don't know. I wish they did that for every time.
No, they should have. It clearly indicates that it's not natural, right?
Yeah. It's really, I don't know. I think it's an effective way of showing his darkest of rays. We see on the next page, he's heating the egg with Taboo's essence and hatches a solidified version of Taboo that says "dead yet miraculously living." Yeah, the Taboo's ectoplasm was freed to assume shape. So yeah, basically Taboo is back. And I am dead, yet I live. You know, out of all the things we referenced, we really need to reference Twin Peaks more. I mean, we did good on this episode, but if we can keep it up,
Okay.
we'll retire our Mr. Show references. We'll try, and we'll replace them with more audience-friendly Twin Peaks references.
Hey, I got my tattoo. I got recognition in public the other day. Somebody actually knew what it was.
Really nice.
Yeah, I was at New Seasons. And the guy saw it and he's like, hey, you know what? I just watched the ending of season 3 the other day for the first time. I was like, gutting, huh?
How do you only have like a 15-second conversation about that? Like,
I know.
need to talk to this guy.
I know. I wanted to like swivel over 90 degrees and like just like stand where the bag Bowie does.
Start
like,
bagging.
So, right? I mean, Carrie Page, right? In Odessa. I mean, clearly sex magic was used to create a pocket dimension as a trap for yeah. It's so hard not to do that.
Now I just want to talk about the end. But back to the issue. So once Dr. Glitternight basically resurrects Taboo, they argue and, Dr. Glitternight reveals his plan to Taboo. We don't find out what it is yet. And this enrages the Tulpa of Taboo, and they start having a magic guy fight, a sorcerer battle.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I was you say sorcerer battle, I think of a lot of Shaw Brothers, like crazy ass Hong Kong shit.
Yeah.
I think of Big Trouble in Little China. I see mental like laser beams. This was underwhelming as fuck. Like it barely looks like it was fucking inked.
Yeah, that's true. It's the panel is so the battle is we're pretty far behind Dr. Glitternight in our perspective.
Looks like a chick track.
Yeah, you're right. It does.
Dark demons who battle for their position in the devil's domain.
I found it at a bus station. But anyhow, this flashback ends, and Taboo explains, unfortunately for Glitternight, my period of gestation within the ensorcelled egg, loved saying that, had increased my previously negligible powers. He had wanted a powerful ally in his scheme. Therefore, our battle was a stalemate, and I fled to sequester myself in this cool castle. I like that he says, for its comforting aura of ancient sorcery.
Yeah.
Which makes me want to stay there.
Yeah. I mean, midway through that panel, I'm like, how'd you even know this? Oh.
Yeah.
You're a sorcerer.
Yeah.
Doug, you smart little bastard.
He's magic.
Yeah. So he just feels it, right?
He can.
It's like the same way I can sense biscuits and gravy because I'm from a small logging town.
Yep.
You can just be driving down I-5 and biscuits and gravy, fresh. Okay, so he's here, and we're just gonna have to accept that. Yeah, so this Tulpa of Taboo is planning on standing up against him. It says, indeed, it was necessary, for I have felt Glitternight's growing presence, and I hope to enlist your aid in opposing him. And Topaz says, but why did you fight? Why did he bring you back to life? What did he propose to you that was so repugnant? So he's horrified by Glitternight's plan. And the plan is to murder every single person on the planet of Earth, take all of their souls, and convert them into hideous, subservient demons. So complete spiritual and physical genocide. Pretty good.
It's a pretty good bad plan.
Like since Elfric, I think that's the most ambitious villain we've had.
Yeah, you're right. This is very ambitious. This is not a street level villain anymore, like the Hangman. No,
and I love that Buck wearing a blue shirt, a red windbreaker, and a captain's hat says, he's mad.
I know. That made me laugh.
It's like
he's wearing his Thurston Howell the
70s white guy's leading man response to the villain plan. And Taboo's Tulpa says, of course, but despite my less than perfect past, I would oppose his madness, even if there were the merest chance of him succeeding on but one person rather than the entire world. And that chance definitely exists. Outside, we see Glitternight squirreling in. We're calling it squirreling in when he hovers. Because he's doing it with intention and purpose. As lightning strikes, rain is driving, and he's got shrimp bats all around him, and he's approaching this big bank of windows. And it says, outside there gathered lightning, rain, the unseen moon, and something else we didn't know about yet. And we get this bizarre panel in the bottom left here. It says the moon struck first. And we see Jack saying, "Ah!" And he does not look like Jack, but he's turning into an iguana. He's turning into a monitor lizard. What the hell is going on in that panel?
I don't know. I think this is something we've learned over the series when artists have tried to do that midway transformation.
Single panel.
That's the trickiest part. The panel that's midway is always going to be the trickiest.
Yeah, he's sweating, so it looks like scales. And they try to introduce some fur into his skin, but he still has his normal hair, but he has Spock ears and fangs. It does not work for me.
No.
It is utterly bizarre.
It's really bad.
But at that moment, all the windows and the skylights break through with shrimp bats, and Taboo's Tulpa says, "Glitternight, he's here."
It's a pretty awesome introductory page. Like, now shit is really going down. That's what we get.
Issue's been pretty crazy.
It's been pretty crazy, and it's just leading all up to this giant conclusion here.
Yeah.
Because on the next page, Jack is fully transformed into the beast. And I was a bit confused by the narration. It says, and it was the werewolf who learned that Jack's weird-looking seagull was definitely more than a boogeyman spawned by nerves. But they did mention it as a seagull, right? Before. Was Jack the one that said that?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm guessing. That was a long time ago, brother.
Yeah. So many pages ago.
It was Jack. He was
okay. It was
from
Jack.
Buck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. For some reason, I thought Buck had said it earlier, and so I'm like, "How's the werewolf gonna know this?" But anyhow,
how's he holding on to that?
How is that's the one thing of his humanity that he's holding on to. But Taboo and Glitternight start their sorcerer battle, which is you're right, which is also underwhelming in that page. He just didn't want to draw a big battle of wizards, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it plays better in with motion.
It's weird, but it does not. But yeah, in the few panels where we see them, they're basically just both shooting each other with magic rays. And yeah, the narration says prey was on the werewolf's mind too. He remembered Glitternight vaguely to be sure as his foe from a month back. So he scrambled stairs with vengeance in his mind and tackled Weirdo with snarls in his throat. Again, that's some classic Doug lines.
I love that he sacks him like a quarterback from behind.
He does.
I mean, that is pretty good. I love that he held a grudge long enough to be like, that's the guy.
Yeah.
And I owe this guy one.
He does. And I think he's pissed off because he keeps calling him a were-demon, which he does again. He's like, what, the were-demon again?
Yeah, stop representing me.
Yeah. He says, but this time shall be the last. And then he blasts the beast with some of his more powerful red light. It says, backed by a brain-boggling blast of blistering light.
Oh, Douglas.
Ride the alliteration train.
So at this moment, Lissa is starting to feel the change come on. The moment we've been dreading for years. She says, no, my head throbbing feels so hot. And she's being attacked by shrimp bats. Like she's just covered in them. This is terrible. She says, I think I'm changing. And Topaz says, Taboo, you asked us to help you. Will you help us now? And we get this weird panel. I love that the werewolf is unflinchingly, like he is not letting go of Glitternight. So Glitternight's floating like a drone. And for some reason, his red light now has asterisks or cat buttholes in it.
Isn't that weird? Why?
It's like such a shitty, lazy like thing.
It's like it's magic shit.
Stars?
Yeah, just
typewriter stars. Cat buttholes. But anyway, I love that he's holding on to him and not letting go. Meanwhile, Buck is saying, head for the other room where we can shut these stinking things out because there are shrimp bats attacking while all this is just absolute mayhem and bedlam going on right now. At this time, Taboo and Topaz are using their mind beams to try and control Lissa's change. So they both have mental psychic links to her as they're running into another room. Buck slams the door and says, "It worked. Only a few of them got through with us." And he's smashing them. And like every time he hits them, they kind of burst into flames or whatever and burn up. And Lissa is in excruciating agony, saying, "My head, the pain, I can't stand it." And Topaz says, "Keep concentrating, Taboo." And they're doing it and doing it. And she's saying, I can't. It's too much to bear. I can't think at all. So she's screaming, sweating profusely as she's trying to fight off her first change.
Oh, it's an amazing page. It's really exciting.
Yeah, it's crazy, though.
Yeah,
There's
these
way
last
too much going
pages,
on.
There is. It just keeps ratcheting up every page. You're just like, holy shit, I can't take it. And it just is the same on the next one. So Glitternight is hovering above. He's saying, "Take him, children, take him." And Glitternight sixes shrimp bats on the beast and then blasts the beast out the window with his red beam. The werewolf's got to fall like, 100 feet or something, like on his back?
I would think a good 30, 40 feet at least.
It's like that's a long fall.
Mm-hmm. Especially landing on his neck where his neck and his shoulders meet.
Yeah, like that's that's not a great place to land on. And so Glitternight is very excited. Now he's like, "Come, my children of the glittering night. We must enter this room." So he uses his beam, blasts his way into the chamber where Taboo and Topaz are trying to help Lissa. I love Buck. Buck instantly is the first one on him. He says, "Sorry, Baldy. This is a private party. No glitter knights allowed." And Glitter Knight's like, "Silence!" and shoots him with the red beam. So Buck's out. But his heart was in the right place.
There is one Glitter Knight because
no Glitter Knights allowed. So no homers allowed.
We're allowed. Yeah, it's like no homers. We're allowed one. So he's out.
Yeah, Buck is out. And the narration in that final panel says the battle was resumed. Then with Taboo and Topaz working in tandem, hurling their psychic energy at Glitter Knight as he blasted his light at them. One thing, Lissa was now neglected and just happened to be in the path of Glitter Knight's light, which is very important, as we will see on the next page or two.
Yeah, so meanwhile, the werewolf has picked himself up, dusted himself off, and maybe it's the clouds parting from the full moon that gives him some extra strength, but he decides to storm into the castle, and we get this crazy panel that is split in half, and it's Lissa crouching down the ground in pain, writhing, and it says, "Moonlight which penetrated the castle window and bathed Lissa full force." And that's on the left hand of the panel, which is all moonlight. On the right hand side, it's all black light, and it says, "While Glitter Knight's black light hit her from the other side." Both hit her at the same time. Each had created its own brand of monster, and both filled Lissa with agony and change. And as this is happening, you see her in black panels just getting smaller and smaller and just writhing around in pain.
So cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The werewolf doesn't know anything that's going on yet, but he knows where his sister is and where his foe is. So he jumps through the glass, big glass, and he crashes through. And even when he crashed through that window, he still didn't know about the convergence of opposing lights on his alter ego's sister. And Topaz says, "Oh no, not now, not now," as the werewolf breaks through. But he did know one thing.
Oh man! And we close out the issue with a double page spread. The narration continues. He was in for a bigger fight than he'd ever bargained for. And it says above, it was Lissa's very first night, and she was far more than a mere werewolf. She was a hideous corruption of hell, spawned in a mixed miasma of light from the moon and the darkness from Glitter Knight. So Lissa has transformed, but it's not into a werewolf. It's into this really fucked up looking. This looks like a were-demon. This is what Glitter Knight was saying. I mean, how would you describe this?
She looks like she looks like how Raymond Coker looked when he turned into a werewolf, but she's half bat demon. Mm-hmm. So it looks like she's like half wolf, half gargoyle, half bat. Like it's really messed up.
Yeah, with a really long, scaly tail, and it's just like three-toed, crazy clawed, like
it's
talons.
Definitely unearthly, not of our world.
It's truly frightening. And yeah, and the final narration says, as far as first nighters go, this was going to tear the audience to bloody pieces. So everyone's standing around with the teaser we get for next issue at the bottom as brother versus sister in savagery.
Yeah, so this in my comic, it's it's not a 2-page spread; it's a 1-page landscape.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, okay, interesting.
And yeah, I love this panel here because you have the wolf totally in like this dynamic pose, like 3-point stance, like he's charging towards his sister. She's terrifying and scaly and furry and weird, and Topaz is horrified. So is Taboo's Tulpa thing. And Glitternight just seems to be nonplussed, just watching on from the distance. And then meanwhile, at his feet, Buck is out cold.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know why that's so funny.
It is funny. Buck has just been all over the place. Buck has made me feel all of the feelings this issue. Every one.
Not in a good way.
No, not necessarily in a good way. I like my Buck steady. I like a steady hand. That's his job in this fucking title, is to be the reliable Buck. You always know he is your moral compass.
Yeah. In the giant size number 3, he was the guy saying, I talked to Philip and he said, you guys are going to Transylvania. You need somebody to come with you because A, I've left the country before and done stuff. And B, you didn't even think about the fact that you're going to turn into a werewolf and your sister's here. Or, he's that guy. That's his role. Yeah, that's his role. So here, just having him be the impotent Roger Corman, like hero, like, you can't do this to us, Krog. He feels weird. He does feel weird. I'm anxious to get the old Buck back. Yeah. But maybe when he wakes up, he'll be like, where have I been for the last 3 issues? I feel so normal now. Oh, man. So let's talk thoughts, because we have something else to talk about. What'd you think of this one? I mean, I think this one was so bonkers, just like last issue, really. I mean, I think this issue really took off towards the last few pages. And I've noticed that's kind of something that Doug Munch seems to do. He seems to kind of like, tell the story and then really fucking ratchet up the action for the last like 3 pages. Mm-hmm. So it gives you kind of whiplash a little bit, but it's very exciting. Like you kind of go from this giant setup to just this like, holy shit, everything's happening all at once. Yeah, and I find that it works for me more when the setup itself is weird, like in this issue where everything in this is just berserk, but the action is breakneck nonstop in the last 7 pages. Yeah. Which is fine, but I don't know. It feels like he's still kind of all over. Yeah, tonally this issue is all over the place. But when I try to complain about it, all I can think about is Buck's chef hat and apron, and that just makes everything okay. To Etsy. Yeah. All right. Well, I enjoyed it more than last issue. I think that was a pretty flaccid, kind of lukewarm introduction to a new character, particularly one that we know in hindsight is important, essentially, to the remainder of the run. This one I enjoyed a lot more just because it felt like that kind of haphazard, just kitchen sink kind of thing, and then it just went bananas at the end. So that amused me. So I liked it more than last issue. Yeah, agreed. And the ending with Lissa just transformed into this horrible monster is it's terrifying. And yeah, Lissa's so great. Lissa is all of our little sisters. So, you don't want something like this happening to your little sister. Yeah, we've been speculating about this since, I don't know, like issue 5 or 6, I think, was when I think one of the Kane brothers was the first one that said, even if you don't do this for you, think about your sister, right? I mean, it's been years of publishing time. So, yeah. There is no wearmail this issue. So we didn't get to take an on-air whiskey drink. So which is weird. It is weird. Can we drink to the lack of wearmail? Because I have whiskey in front of me. It needs drinking. I've got a shot of whiskey as well. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Mine's 4 Roses.
still on the long branch. I'd like to try Four Roses.
I like it. The small batch one that's a little more expensive, I think, is worth the difference. Okay. Their $24 one is okay, like a totally serviceable Buffalo Trace level, but the one above that, small batch, is good. All right, Jacob. So you and I both watched the same movie last night for the Werewolf Multimedia this week. Tell people what we watched.
Well, we watched Mark of the Werewolf, which has many titles. Which one are we going to call it by? We should say all of them because.
Yeah, I didn't do my due diligence and find where people can see it for free. Unfortunately, if you see it for free on YouTube, it's a pretty garbage print, but it's usually called Frankenstein's Bloody Terror, which is the most misleading name ever for a film.
Yeah, I don't know how they. I mean, I guess I know how they got there because the castle and the first werewolf in it is a Wolfstein, right?
Right, but that was
just see Stein and go like, okay, when we dub this, we can just say it has something to do with Frankenstein.
They were actually filling a double bill, so they just needed a second Frankenstein movie for a drive-in double bill. They needed to have a Frankenstein double bill terror night at the drive-in, so they said, whatever, I don't give a shit what it is, just call it Frankenstein's Bloody Terror. So they added that, the American distributors added that intro where it says like,
now, the most frightening Frankenstein story of all, as the ancient werewolf curse brands the family of monster makers as Wolfstein. Wolfstein, the inhuman clan of blood-hungry wolf monsters.
That's entirely American people to make a drive-in double feature.
Yeah, it did seem like that.
Yeah. Should we just play that? Let's just play that intro.
Okay.
I noted like 4 clips. I was like, I might do a little trash, that's called trash kind of thing, because that intro is pretty funny.
It is.
So we'll stick that in right here.
And yes, you can, if you want to come and say when it came out, what it was shot on, all that great stuff.
Okay, so this was filmed in 1968 in 3D on 70 millimeter. So this film, as it's mostly seen here in the West, in America, is usually a hacked up, crude butchery of what the film was. But in its original form, it was 70 millimeter, gorgeously shot in 3D Spanish werewolf film. Shot, I think, in conjunction with, is it a German co-production? Spanish yeah, I think so. At any rate, this stars a guy named Paul Naschy, and that is not his real name. His real name was Jacinto Molina Alvarez, and he was a Spanish actor who did a couple smaller films in the mid-'60s and was really inspired by the Universal and Hammer films and wanted to be a horror star. And so he spoke to some producers and said, I want to write a horror film. I want to star in it. And people dissuaded him because he had been in a couple of crime films, these European, like Spanish crime films, and said, you don't want to get like in this sub genre work, because once you get in this toilet, people don't respect you as an actor. I highly, suggest you don't do this. And that was even including Armando de Asario, who is a great horror Spanish director. He made the Blind Dead film series. What's else? He made Fangs of the Living Dead. He did tons of stuff, and he was even telling this guy, "Don't get into horror. You don't want to go there." So Paul Naschy is the name he adopted, which sounds German, and he chose that name because of the current pope at the time, Pope Paul, and some German. I forgot who the character was. Imre Nagy, something like that, was some German Olympian athlete or something like that, and he chose his name. So that's where Paul Naschy came from. But this guy produced, do you know the count? I didn't even know the count. It's like 20.
It was over
21. 22 films from 1968 until 2004 was the last werewolf movie this guy made. So this guy has made a life's work of making these films, and there's a huge fan base for them. This is the first one, though. So this is The Mark of the Wolfman, a.k.a. La Marca del Hombre Lobo, also known as Hell's Creatures, Dracula and the Werewolf, The Knights of Satan, and Frankenstein's Bloody Terror. So it's been hacked up and distributed many, many, many different ways. I think largely it was shown here on TV as a package for those, Fright Night Fests things, the horror show stuff. I think that's how it's mostly seen by people. So talk to me a little bit about this, Jacob.
Oh, well, God, I just kept thinking when I was watching it, I'm just like, wow, to have seen it like in Spain in 70 millimeter 3D, like, God, it would have looked so good.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what to expect. Like, I hadn't heard of this guy. I hadn't heard of these series of films. This is my first exposure to it. And
wow.
God, okay. I loved it. I thought it was so great. It's just trashy enough. Like it was one of those weird, like perfect levels of pretty decent production values and also still being pretty trashy.
Yeah. So this is something that I've read about for 30 years and wanted to see. I've attempted to watch it here and there, like I can almost guarantee if you search Frankenstein's Bloody Terror on YouTube and watch whatever the 70 or 90 minute file is, it's going to be a pan and scan. Look like it went through the wash 75 times and got hung out to dry. Unfortunately, that's what you're going to find as a freebie, whatever. Having downloaded this widescreen version that's clearly a reflection of the 70 millimeter format, it was a totally different experience because I tried to watch it like 2 or 3 times and fell off about 10, 15 minutes in just because it looked like shit and it sounded like shit. And it's dubbed, which, I can deal with dubbing if there's no other option, but when it looks and sounds like shit and it's dubbed, I just fell off. So this is the first time I saw it and it looked nice, and it was a treat. I actually liked it. I was super high. Tim, you're welcome. Tim said he wants more high reviews.
Yeah, I do like the last couple movies that you and I have watched for this. I like that we're texting about it. We're also comparing what drugs we've taken with like milligrams and stuff. I'm just like, oh, I just took 20 milligrams of Dabinol. I'm ready. I have some drinks. And yeah, I've also realized from watching tons of movies at various levels of being high through the pandemic that for movies like this, I can be pretty high. And it's
me too.
Great. Like if I'm going to watch like a Tarkovsky, I need like 5 milligrams. I need to be a little open to things, but not totally out there. But for this, I was just able to get a little fucked up and watch it. And it was so much fun. And I know there's not a lot of direct parallels to Werewolf by Night, but I feel like it was a real spiritual brother to the series. Like there's a lot of there were a lot of things that kind of had the same spirit to it. So now, did it start with the couple that went to the broken down castle?
Start with them?
With the couple who's kind of drunk and goes to the castle and stays there?
No.
Okay.
Did I not send you the film?
No, you sent me the film.
Okay.
Starts with that. No, I'm talking about that starts the whole thing to where they go and take the.
Oh, right. But I'm saying they establish these 2 characters of opulence, this affluent kids who are kind of destined to marry each other off. And there's a costume ball at one of their mansions. And I was just tripping out with my wife, just like, how fucking hideous is European opulence? Like that period, that Napoleonic or whatever that is, like where everything looks like it's made out of fucking cardboard with like brass paint and it's like pink and gold. Yeah, and everything just looks fucking hideous. Like it gives Renee panic attacks. It's so ugly. But it's like, oh, look at this place.
Yeah, no, it definitely was like that. And so, yeah, we meet Countess, she's a Countess, Janice.
Countess Janice and Rudolph. Two rich kids that are loves that are destined to be together. And this guy comes in kind of dressed at this costume party, almost like Satan or like, like Poe, like Mask of the Red Death or something like that. And they're all like, ooh, that guy? That's Valdemar Daninsky. He's trouble. And he's kind of a rapscallion, but you don't really know why. So this hits a bunch of beats of Hammer films as far as like being a period piece and going through some of these really normal beats you would expect in a horror story. But I felt like the violence was just amped up just a little bit more to make this salacious and a little kind of like the Wolfman just goes bananas. Like he just shreds people. Yeah. And he's just like covered in blood half the time. I appreciate that.
Oh, I did too. I thought, like I say, it was just the perfect level of gore, the perfect level of sexiness, really, obviously pretty high production values in different parts, but also, still a little trashy.
And this, I realized halfway through again, I was high, but I was like turning to Renee, I'm like, so narratively and beat for beat and everything dramatically, this is literally a Hammer vampire film. But it's a werewolf movie. Yeah. And then it became a vampire film. But I mean, like to the point where there's a castle with the family crypt in it, and the male figure in it has a silver crucifix dagger in his heart. And that's what killed him. And so removing that reanimates him and starts this whole chain of events and going on. So that's very, very vampire. I mean, that's very Hammer.
Yeah, I didn't know if I had seen that used for a werewolf before. No. Like the guy was definitely dead too, and had this silver.
But he hadn't aged like a vampire. He hadn't
aged either. Yeah, I know. So it was. Yeah, you're right. It was a really strange combination. And so, I mean, where, vampires show up, all this other crazy shit happens. It hits a lot of great beats, I thought. But it's a weird mishmash of vampire and werewolf films.
So my issue with it was, and again, when I'm high, I go up and down. Same way I talked about, with that movie Where, like where it's like, this felt like a Law and Order episode. And then all of a sudden it turned into this extreme gore, and then it turned into a, whatever. I know some of that's the drugs.
Yes.
But this one, I'm used to this, like you were saying, like this is the type of film where I can walk in with a high and be like, I know this language. I know the language of all horror movies. I'm at home right here. So this one really gripped me and I enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't dig as much was the drama aspects where they're trying to dramatize Janice leaving Rudolph and being attracted to Valdemar Daninsky, and basically anytime, or the old men, the parents of the two young lovers, anytime people talked, you could feel that the director did not give a shit about that. Like all he cared about was the feature shots.
Well, because that doesn't look good in 3D. Talking doesn't look good in 3D.
So, I mean, but anytime there was a conversation, the thing just ground to a halt and just whiplash. Like, oh, God. Like, again, I was high, but I was just like, blah, 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 blah. But the last third of the film, like, I forgot that it was filmed in 3D and 70. And so at one point I paused and I was like, why is this so gorgeous all of a sudden? And I looked it up on Wikipedia. It's like, oh, okay. Because it turns into this whole thing of like these set pieces where it's like Dario Argento, like there's this forest shot and all this fog and mist coming in, and there's blue and orange and green and all this crazy shit, and the things running at you, and it just was bananas. And like, okay, it was in 3D, or it was, again, American audiences didn't see it in 3D, which is a shame, but it was gorgeous. Like when it cared, it was gorgeous. When it was just so-and-so has to talk to so-and-so and make this scene happen so we can get here to make this set piece happen, it was very pedestrian and unremarkable.
No, you're right. The last act in the film was just fucking awesome.
So good. I mean,
I loved it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't want to spoil too much, but I mean, you get a werewolf fight, two werewolves fighting each other at one point. It's fucking rad.
No, that's why it just kept like checking all these beats
Yeah.
from Werewolf by Night too. And
No, I know.
It's like, oh, this is. That's why I almost felt like this was more akin to the comic than any other werewolf movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It hits so many beats, and this movie is easily in my top 3 werewolf movies of all time now.
I'm pretty into it. I to be honest, if I could see it in 70 in 3D,
oh, holy shit,
that would be a bucket list thing. Because
come on, Hollywood theater.
Yeah, if there were some cool transformations. I love that weird effect, the weird swirly, blurry time lapse kind of thing that happened when
that was awesome. But at the same time, when that's happening, he's clawing at the screen, at the viewer, and so
those stuff's happening.
That have been in 3D.
Yeah. So cool.
I was so glad you had us watch this. I loved it.
Yeah. And like I was saying, I've been meaning to watch this for 30 some years since I first picked up the Psychotronica Encyclopedia of Film. So I'm so glad to finally knock this off the list. And I think someone else, I forgot who it was, somebody who just followed us on Instagram asked us if we'd ever seen these. So I felt like we got to do this. We got to finally start this goddamn thing. So there's a lot of them. And it gets to the point, which I think is really in keeping with the Werewolf by Night kind of vibe of like, you know, he fights Yetis. Like he goes to Japan and fights yokai. Like I kind of want to ride this train and see where this goes.
Oh, I'm with you. Let's watch more of them.
Okay. So yeah, I think you can find this for free as a really, really shitty pan and scan 3x4. You know, like on Archive or YouTube. And I'm sorry about that, but if you can do anything to pick this up in an aspect ratio that reflects the 70 millimeter, you will not regret it. It's worth watching. It's like the violence is amped up. The Romani character, there's a female there who, you know, that's a typical kind of Hammer thing where it's just like, let's just put her there and have her blouse down low and she'll just do stuff and people will care. Like there was that times 10. And
yep.
Yeah, I mean, Haunted Castles, Cursed Family Lines. It's
perfect.
Everything you want. And some excessive gore considering the decade. You know, this Wolfman, because he's more of a Wolfman than a werewolf.
Absolutely.
It's a compliment. He bordered on more of a wild man berserker than a Wolfman. Like he
just slashes victims to bits.
Hyper violent. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, to where his shirt was just permanently wet with blood for the last half of the film.
Yeah.
So I dug it. I didn't love it because of the unevenness of the dialogue to amazing, beautiful set piece to dialogue to set piece, but totally worth watching, especially if you can see it. Anything relating to the 70 millimeter aspect ratio. So I'm glad you liked it.
Oh, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Thank you for having us watch this.
Yeah. So this is an infamous line. I'm sure you saw that it was followed up in 1968, the same year, by Las Noches del Hombre Lobo, which does not exist. He swears up, down, and left, right, and sideways that they made this film. They shot it in Paris the same year as his first film, as the first sequel. There's no record of it existing. There's no footage.
Yeah, it sounded like there's no one has ever come forward to be like, oh, I worked on this.
I was in this film. I was a cameraman. I was a boom operator. No one.
That's why I'm like, I call bullshit.
Yeah, he says he made it, but it does not exist, and there's no record of it existing. So I believe it was followed up by a sequel called Los Monstruos del Terror. Mm-hmm. Monsters of Terror, also known as Dracula versus Frankenstein, which is a UK title because we could not use that here because that title was already in use by what's his name. So here it was called Assignment Terror, if you're looking for it on YouTube. But at some point in the coming weeks, we'll watch Assignment Terror together. Well, the real Spanish version, and talk about that.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm glad you dug it. I really liked his transformations.
Oh, his transformations were so cool. Yeah. And the soundtrack was awesome too. Like the soundtrack was really good. I was like, oh my God, I want this on vinyl.
I know.
God, it was good. Like it was way better than most of the soundtracks from that period. Really,
it was
like,
better than it had a right to be at points as
it
well.
Definitely
there were times where it pulled me back
good.
into the picture where I was like, oh, that's right. The music rules.
Oh God, it's good. Like fuck. Yeah, I loved it.
Cool. What else should we be seeing? I thank you to whoever that was out there who said, hey, have you guys watched the Paul Naschy werewolf movies? Because you should. We appreciate that. Let us know what else we're missing, because this was a huge hole in my Wolfman filmography. You can send us an email at werewolfbynightpodcast@gmail.com.
Oh, we'd love to get some emails with some suggestions of what to watch or what to read. If you're reading something good, we always give our reading recommendations on a lot of episodes. So yeah, anything that you think we're missing that we would like, please recommend. Yes,
please. So next week we'll be back for Werewolf by Night number 29.
29.
Right. With Tim Tucker, the esteemed author and werewolf fan.
Yeah, I'm very excited to have Tim on. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to meet him. I've enjoyed listening to his podcast and listening to you talk to him on podcasts.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, sidelined. Put me in, coach.
Yeah. No, it's great. Yeah, I think that both of us should be on his Simpsons podcast for the I told him I wanted to be on for the B Sharps episode.
Nice. Okay.
So yeah.
I was walking my dog, talking with you guys, but you couldn't hear me for the
for the Mr. Plow one?
Mr. Plow one, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was so much fun.
Yeah. It's not interactive, unfortunately.
I heard you.
I had so much to say. All right, folks. Thanks for listening. Please join us next week. Till we meet again at the full moon, furry ones. Here's howling at ya.